because they do everything possible to protect criminals at the expense of American citizens.
At an event in Detroit, President Trump said his administration in February will halt.
They issued a statement right away that they will not recognize any of the agreements made between Trump and Rutte, but no doubt for Rutte to be sitting with Trump, negotiating some sort of a deal for Greenland, the NATO CEO must have been deputized or given support to negotiate on behalf of the big powers in Europe.
I keep wanting to repeat to my audience that we are in a new chapter in the world. We're going old school. See, the old school way of doing things is might is right. So basically, whoever is the strongest is the one in the right. The United States, we are currently the strongest out of Europe and out of the nations involved in this debacle over Greenland. We are so much, we have so much might compared to Denmark that today or yesterday, Trump met with Mark Rutte he's actually the CEO basically of NATO. And they had a discussion and negotiated the terms for the framework of Greenland, meaning Mark Rutte of NATO divided up Greenland and gave it to us in the United States. And neither Denmark nor Greenland was in the room. Why? Because might is right. Denmark doesn't even have enough strength to even demand a seat in the room. They have zero say-so. And to be honest, neither does NATO. However, when we're going to need people to kind of run our errands for us and smooth this over with the partners, not because they can do anything to stop us, but because hearing people cry sometimes gets annoying. And we don't want to have to humor that. We already have to deal with enough people crying in the U.S. Therefore, we send our representatives from NATO. We make them feel like they have some kind of say-so. And they're just going to let the Greenlanders and the Danish know that it is what it is. They were going to take these parts of of Greenland, whether you wanted to give it to them or not. And if they would have been forced to take it by force, it would have just embarrassed NATO. NATO's already an embarrassment. They lost to the Russians. It's not really a thing anymore. NATO's over. But if you still want to keep getting that money from your people, pretending that they're supporting NATO, then you don't want Trump to embarrass you. So that's why they're like, okay, look, we'll give you what you want in Greenland. Don't embarrass us and just take it. At least add us into the equation. And if the Danish are going to be doing too much pushback, screw them. We'll go around them. And that's exactly what happened. And then Alex Christorafu right here is actually a really good person with explaining the geopolitics from the Duran. So that's why we're listening to him today. So you should follow his channel too, as well. Alexander Christorafu.
The Germanys, the France, the Italys, the United States, the UKs, the Canadas. I'm sure that they told Rutte, absolutely, sit down with Trump and let's make it look like NATO and the United States have come to an understanding when it comes to Greenland. And Trump posted on Truth Social, based upon a very productive meeting that I have had with the Secretary General of NATO, Mark Rutte, we have formed the framework of a future deal with respect to Greenland and, in fact, the entire Arctic region. This solution, if consummated, will be a great one for the United States of America and all NATO nations. Based upon this understanding, I will not be imposing the tariffs that were scheduled to go into effect on February 1st. Additional discussions are being held concerning the Golden Dome as it pertains to Greenland. Further information will be made available as discussions progress. VP Vance, Secretary of State Rubio, Special Envoy Witkoff, and various others, as needed, will be responsible for the negotiations. They will report directly to me. Thank you for your attention to this matter. President Donald J. Trump.
Now, for those of you who don't think that tariffs work, the threat of us putting tariffs on these European nations in NATO scared the living shit out of them. For one thing, we're their number one importer for most of their goods. We're the only people that are going to pay ridiculously high amounts to get imported goods from other countries simply because we have not started to do our own manufacturing here again yet in full force. So we kind of think some of that stuff is superior and we want to import it. They depend on us. A lot of their exports are bought by the United States because we're the number one consumer. We're like one of the richest countries in the world. So when we're talking about we're going to put a tariff on there, that means that the prices for the people, not necessarily people that are buying, but it's also the tariffs are going to affect those that are selling. And when the consumers, the price goes up for the consumers, they're likely not going to want to buy from these European countries, and they're going to want to try to source it locally or somewhere more inexpensive. You know, us Americans are always looking for a good deal, just like Trump. And and that's the way the NATO played ball. And you know what? If they had to burn the bridges with the Danish and screw over Denmark and Greenlanders to keep the peace with the United States, a relationship with the United States versus the relationship with the Danish, the United States is going to win. We are a more valuable friendship to have. Trump did the classic Trump move, the big ask. Ask for something really, really big, make a threat, and then dial it back to kind of cool things off. Then you go with what your true intentions were, and then people are just going to accept it. But what you do is you ask for more than you want, and then when they counter, then they'll offer you what you actually want, and there's going to be less resistance. It's the art of the deal. The man is brilliant. Say whatever you want to say about him. He's still your president. You're not the president. He is, and there's a good reason. You're not smarter than him. You're not more clever than him. And he's proven that time and time again. You know, the scary part is eventually he won't be the president anymore, and we don't have a replacement. Not anyone that's old enough that can really fill these shoes. We're going to need another Trump in there. But let's continue.
Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America. So there you have it. The United States and their NATO subsidiary negotiating on Denmark, the threat of 10% tariffs on February 1st and 25% tariffs in June. Forget about all of that. Trump is walking all of that back. I don't like it. I don't like them tariffs.
The man can change his mind on the drop of a dime. That makes him so easy to be able to control negotiations. It's masterful. Hopefully people are taking notes, but they're not. Everybody should be sitting in awe. The way he's handling, it's like he's a natural. He's handling these countries and these weak leaders. It's like child's play for him. We should all be, I mean, we're living in history right now. The Trump years, these are going to be some of the best years in our American history.
But I like negotiating with Ruth.
Unless you're a pedophile, murderer, or an illegal alien, then things are going to get a little bit rougher.
If you like this video, smash the like button.
Yeah, please smash the like button, chime in, leave a comment, follow the channel. I do tons of content every day. Geopolitics, relationships, business. We talk about all types of different things. But this whole Greenland thing kind of got settled today. Yes, the Danish are mad. Yes, the Greenlanders are mad. But does anybody really care? No. Might is right. Those two, neither one of those two countries have any might. No, you don't have to pay attention to them. You can kind of just ignore them, and what's going to happen is going to happen. NATO's going to deal with them because NATO was under the gun. Money talks, and these people they didn't want to lose that American money, so we got our way, and that's how it should be. Money talks.
If you want to subscribe to this channel, please subscribe to this channel and share this video. So Trump was asked by a reporter as he's sitting next to Mark Rutte, and they've just finalized this framework deal for which Denmark and Greenland were not a part of and have already rejected. He was asked about Denmark's very quick statements saying that they do not accept these negotiations between Rutte and Trump. And Trump's response to reporters was that he is discussing Greenland with this man right here. He is frankly more important. So he said, I have no idea.
Why don't you appreciate the honesty? He just said the CEO of NATO, Mark Rutte, is more important than the King of Denmark and the Prime Minister of Greenland. The CEO of NATO is more important than both of them combined. And I only need to talk to him. It's like when you walk in a room and someone's like, can I help you? You're like, I want to talk to the person in charge. And then they bring a manager. No. I want to talk to the owner. I want to talk to the one who makes the decisions, not these lower level people. Apparently, in the big scheme of things, the King of Denmark and the Prime Minister of Greenland are both small fries and don't make any decisions. So why even talk to them? Let's get to the person in charge, Mark Rutte.
Idea what Denmark said.
And it's Mark Rutte, not Mark Rutte. Everyone in America has been calling him Rutte today. They don't speak. I think he's Austrian or German. They don't speak. They can't pronounce Rutte. They don't understand that that's what it is.
They haven't talked to me. I haven't talked to them. But then Trump says, I'm discussing the whole Greenland thing with this man right here, Mark Rutte, and he's more important than Denmark and Greenland. Mark Rutte is more important deciding about Greenland than Greenland and Denmark. Okay. So what was the agreement? Well, the framework deal, which has not been signed or anything like that. This is just a discussion, an understanding, a deal between two great leaders. One of those leaders being Mark Rutte, the other one being President Donald J. Trump. They agreed to model a Greenland solution after Cyprus and the British bases, the sovereign British territory and the British military bases that are located right here on Cyprus. Not very popular military bases or sovereign British territory that is here on the island of Cyprus. But Cyprus, small pockets of land for the U.S. U.S. involved in Greenland mineral rights. Duration of the deal has an indefinite time frame designed to block Russian influence in Greenland. U.S. Golden Dome system will be involved. Opens door to U.S.-backed infrastructure investment. Trump is looking to secure land, minerals, and defense in one deal.
I'll be completely honest. I'm interested in number 6. I'm a builder. I am interested in putting together projects for Americans, of course, in Greenland that would help further our interests. I think I will look forward to making a trip to Greenland within the next year. If there are going to be government contracts, if they're going to be looking for people to come there and work and bring the American spirit. And that's the beautiful thing about me having a channel, right? I don't even have to apply. I don't have to submit anything. I don't have to convince anyone. I can just give you my channel name on YouTube. You can go there and you can listen to all of my thoughts. You can see where I stand on every policy or every issue, and you can get to know me right here. I don't even have to preach to you. If you follow me for a week or two, my reputation will precede me. So I don't have to do all that. So that's a beautiful thing about having a channel that kind of gives a insight to who you are and your character. I'm interested in number 6. That sounds like that's where I can, you got to get in where you fit in. And we're saving a lot of money with all the USAID and all the Doge cuts. So we can afford to start building infrastructure over there. I got a couple ideas actually.
So there's a mineral component. There's the military bases, and these are going to be given to the United States. So the NATO CEO agreed with Trump to give parts of Greenland to the United States. So these parts of Greenland, a fractured and split up Greenland, part of it is going to now become sovereign territory of the United States of America.
It's crazy. We were actually considering offering people money. If you're in Greenland and you're smart, hopefully you'll try to reach out to the American government. And since they're going to divide up Greenland anyway, you should probably say, hey, you should some of that money, I want a piece of it still. I'm willing to cooperate and work with you guys, and you can show your worth. And you might as well become an ally and just kind of get used to it. We're not going anywhere. We're still in Laos. We're still in Saipan. We're still in all these countries, and you'd want to get used to us and make friends. We might be able to bring you some better industrial size heaters or something. I don't know, but just imagine that you had an offer for some money, you turned it down, and they still took what they wanted, and you lost the money. That's kind of a waste. You might want to see if you can reach out and see if Trump will lend you his ear.
Courtesy of Mark Rutte. Mark Rutte decided to give parts of Greenland to the United States. You can't make this up.
I mean, it shows you NATO had all the power.
Of course, Denmark and Greenland are plenty mad. Of course, Greenland is plenty mad. So? Absolutely. If you were a Greenlander, you would be furious. Did you get a say in this? Did you vote on this? It's not even Denmark, Frederiksen, that has decided to give parts of Greenland to the United States.
But might is right. I mean, if you don't have any strength, what does anybody care what you say? You can't even, if you can't fight to defend something, then is it really yours? Not really. Not really. If somebody else wants something that you have, if they can just come take it from you by force, was it ever yours, or were you just babysitting it for this other stronger person? That's what it comes down to. It's we're in the rules of the jungle. There's no paperwork in the jungle. It's just strength and brute force. And this is the geopolitics is the jungle, that you don't really have to humor people, like people blowing whistles at ICE every day. They're still going to be doing their arrests. Yeah. I mean, I seen the funniest thing today. It said on the back, the bumper sticker on one of the ICE vehicles says, "Honk if you love ICE." And, they are all out there. They're out there honking at the ICE vehicles, and they're like, "Honk if you love ICE." I thought that was clever. The point is, again, with strength comes responsibility and the ability to take what you want. So you can be mad if you want to, but it's kind of futile.
We're talking about U.S. Sovereign territory. It's not even Denmark that has decided to do this. It's some guy named Mark Rutte, who is currently the CEO of NATO, that has decided to give parts of Greenland to the United States. And Trump said he's going to build the Golden Dome, which can easily be defeated by hypersonic missiles. At least that's my understanding of these golden domes and iron domes and golden toilets. I think hypersonic missiles can easily turn those domes into Swiss cheese. But you got the minerals, you got the U.S. military bases, sovereign U.S. territory. Trump's going to build his golden domes. And this is the framework deal, according to the early media reports, talking about Axios and Telegraph. But Trump said it's a great deal. He said that the United States got everything that they want. I don't see it like that. I do not see it like that at all. If Trump just wanted a military presence in a Golden Dome, he could have gone directly to Denmark and quietly negotiated some sort of bilateral military agreement. And if you wanted the rights to minerals, he also could have gone to Denmark and said, "Look, I want mineral rights to Greenland, so let's hammer out a deal." And we would not have gone through 1 year of all of this Greenland stuff and this.
But why should he? When you could just deal with Mark Rutte. Think about it. Mark Rutte is Dutch, and they're all from the Netherlands, the Danish people of Denmark, the Dutch people. They speak Germanic languages, but they're from different countries. One's north, one's east. To be honest, you can just speak to Mark Rutte. He has the ear of the king of Denmark, and they're all from the same region. You really don't need to talk to everyone, and you don't need everyone's opinion, because what if they say no? Well, then it's going to get uncomfortable for the rest of NATO. You might as well just cut them out and go straight to the big guy. And that's exactly what happened. There's no point of even humoring the people saying no, because we're going to keep going anyway. So we might as well just ignore them and move forward. I mean, there is no stop just because. It's just basically like someone saying, "Make me." You want me to stop? Make me. You don't want me to take Greenland? Okay, make me not take Greenland. If you don't have the ability to do that, then just move out of the way. And we just moved them out of the way that easy.
Especially 1 month of Trump very, very publicly stating that he is going to take Greenland. Trump said Greenland is going to be a part of the United States of America. We are taking Greenland. We must have Greenland. Well, he's taken parts of Greenland. So now you have a Greenland that is fractured, that is divided up without any say by the actual people who live there, or any say or input by the actual government of the country.
But just think about it. If the Americans start building like American towns and cities in Greenland, the people who live in Nuuk, they're going to want to come to the American side because we're going to have superior infrastructure, and it's going to be cooler. So, I mean, you're going to want to merge with us. I mean, but it's get down or lay down. There is no in between. You know, you can like it or love it, but being mad is just going to be a waste of energy.
And Trump thinks this is a good deal. A once peaceful, quiet, stable Greenland that not many people talked about, hardly ever made the news. Greenland, and now you have this medium to long-term problem. Because the Cyprus model is not a solution. Trust me, I know. Trust me, I know. This Cyprus British military bases solution that Greenland is modeled after is no solution whatsoever. The great deal maker, everybody. So that's the update on Greenland, of course.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for the update, but he's absolutely right. You know, if you want to have some say so, you're going to have to be willing to have the weapons and have the manpower, and you have neither. Greenland negotiated with Ruta. Yeah. Let's take a look from it, actually.
Take a live look of President Trump right now in Davos, Switzerland. Let's listen in.
Pulitzer Prize. Yes. You're getting lots of pictures. Yes. It's like good with that.
Supposed to be tired.
Many of them flew with me. They're not good, they won't fly back. Long one. But it's been working very well. We're having tremendous meetings with heads of state, with people of very big consequence having to do with war and peace, which is why we're here. And I just want to thank the Secretary General for being with us. We have a few things to discuss. It was a meeting I actually look very forward to. He's doing a fantastic job. We've been friends. We lifted GDP from 2% to 5% together. That was done jointly. And it worked out really very well. And we appreciate it, Mark. So we'll be talking about various things. We'll be talking about Greenland. I
appreciate how these Europeans know to kiss Trump's ass. I really appreciate it. You can tell, you can feel it when there's an American in the room, you know, because you can smell the testosterone, the bravado, the fact that we're aggressive. We might give you a hug or we might just punch you in your shit. We're unstable yet successful. So we're able to prosper. We're stronger. And these other countries bow down to us, and they should, because you have to know your place. They all depend on us for their safety and their security. They're kind of like our girlfriends, and we have to protect them all, like our sheep, and you're the shepherd. So the fact that they understood that what was at stake and they gave in to Trump's demands shows that they have a sense of self-preservation, which is good for them. They got to understand who's buttering their bread. And baby, we're churning butter like there's no tomorrow. This was a good deal for the Dutch. This is a good deal for NATO. This is a good deal for the people of Greenland and the Danish, whether they know it or not. This is way better than us taking it by force and embarrassing the fuck out of all these European nations. We don't really like the Europeans anymore, but we're not really here to embarrass them. They might be good for something later. So that's why we're just going to keep this ace in our pocket. Let me know what you think about this topic. If you enjoyed the show, leave me a comment or just like the page, subscribe to the channel. I try to do six or seven segments every day of different topics. So please stay tuned. I'll be back with another subject in about 20 minutes. Thank you, everybody who's been watching on all these different platforms. Remember, it's America first, but America only.
I've been needing to find a new apartment, which has not been easy with credit as bad as mine. Luckily, I found cosigning.com. They connected me with a cosigner who helped me get my dream apartment for me and my dog. I just paid a small fee and was able to move in fast. Get the cosigner you need for the apartment you want. Check out cosigning.com today.